In MonstaTama, you play as a monster tamer, going on journeys to tame and shelter monsters from an impending disaster. After 3 journeys, the player who has sheltered the most renown worth of monsters wins. To set up, make a supply of wisps in the middle of the play area. All players receive a player board and a shelter holder, then place a Revelopus in their shelter. Place the draft board to the side of the play area, and each player places their turn order marker on a random space on the turn order track. Shuffle one of each biome card, then place them onto the designated spaces of the draft board to determine which and what order biomes will appear during the game. Each round starts with a draft phase. Form the draft area by using the back of 2 player boards. Shuffle all cards that make up the biomes on the current round space to form the draft deck. Each player is dealt 5 cards to their supply from the draft deck, or 10 if it is the first round. Cards are discarded from the draft deck until 18 remain with 2 to 3 players, or 24 remain with 4 players. Deal cards face up onto the draft spaces used for the current player count. In turn order, players place their marker on a card they wish to acquire. Then all players with a marker on the bottom row takes the card they placed on and puts it in their supply, and places their turn order marker on the space directly below. Discard any untaken cards on the bottom row, move anything on the top row down 1 space, then refill the top row with cards. This repeats 6 times, at which point there will be no more cards in the draft area. Next, in the preparation phase, players choose 10 cards from their supply to shuffle and spread face down into their path, as well as a monster from their shelter to start in their team. Players also refill their discard to 15 wisps. Once all players are ready, proceed to the journey phase. In the journey phase, players simultaneously use actions. Each action can be used any number of times, and actions can be used in any order. The encounter action moves the next card in the path to the vicinity and activates encountered abilities. The tame action moves a monster whose level is equal to or less than the player's sense to the team. Sense is just a fancy term for the number of cards plus the number of wisps that are in the vicinity. The tame action then discards all cards that were not moved and activates tamed abilities on the monster that moved to the team. The monster action activates act abilities that are in the team. Some abilities will cause cards to receive wisps from the discard. These are templated as the location that is receiving the wisps, the receives wisp icon, and the number of wisps received. Wisps count for sense, so they make monsters easier to tame. They are also worth 1 renown, increasing the renown of the monster they are on. Wisps move with cards they are on until the card moves to the discard, in which case the wisps go back to the general discard area, or sheltered, in which case they move to the wisp trough. Each biome includes cards that have unique mechanics. Rules for these can be found on the biome info card. Once a player has taken all the actions they wish to, they flip their action card face down. Once all players have flipped their card face down, the finale phase starts. In turn order, each player activates all fin abilities in their team. Then all players count the renown that is in their team, both from monsters and wisps. Reorder turn order with the player with the least renown on their team first and the most last. All players shelter all monsters in their team, then move cards in any other location to their supply. After 3 rounds, players count the renown that is in their shelter. The player with the most renown wins. For a more thorough explanation of the rules with examples, follow the link in the description.